Madam Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, when I was in grade 4, there was a very traumatic event in my family. It led to bouts of alcoholism and drug abuse among people I loved and care about. It also put me at a very vulnerable situation because of how young I was with my inability to understand what was happening. But I read a book. I read a book about Violet, Klaus, and Sonny Baudelaire, who also experienced a lot of painful things in their life at a very young age. This allowed me to realize that I am more than what I experience, and what I once thought was a series of unfortunate events that happened to me turned out to be the very defining and pivotal moments that I could understand. Since then, understanding the trend of these particular experiences don't just validate it for people, but show them the path. It shows them the variety of outcomes that can happen when they succeed, when they fail, or oftentimes life converging towards what is average, which we often take for granted. We say that the 80% of what is mid or meh are just that, but these unique experiences allow us to be able to better grapple with trauma. At best, there were 4 things that side opposition had told us. They said that people relapse into trauma. Number 2, they said that it oversimplifies mental health and perpetuates inaccuracies. Number 3, children who are most vulnerable get wrecked by these things because of their inability to comprehend what's happening. And number 4, they said that it shows the deepest and darkest sides of what people are capable of, validate and perpetuate those ideas. I have a very simple response, which is the common denominator of J1, J2, and J3 in this debate. It's that all of these things don't exist in a vacuum. That is to say, it's precisely because people are different that it allows people to react in a variety of ways. For every single person that gets drastically harmed by these things are a variety and majority of people who validate those things and do their very best of understanding why we don't want to happen to that individual. It's a very simple thought experiment. Just take a look at how people react to anxiety, suicide, and depression right now compared to how they reacted to it 10 or 15 years ago. I'm sure you guys are old enough to understand. There's just more empathy, there's more understanding, and there's more respect. Even from the most bigoted conservative people or the most bigoted radical individuals who once thought that these things are just a figment of their imagination and these people should man up or woman up. Those marginal changes are exactly what motivate our side of the house, and the reason as to that is what these people are experienced too. Books and art are embodiments of ideologies which are carried and spread throughout society, and the point in which this proliferation and prominence shows us what people go through, even in the darkest of times, allow us to make those judgment calls to be able to think and say, I don't want my student, I don't want my friend, I don't want my sibling hurting themselves or taking my own life. What can I actively do to marginally know more about what they're doing in order to validate their experiences and prevent these bad things from happening? We on our side took a very fair and reasonable burden to say these marginal changes are what motivate our side of the house, and these things can uniquely be attributed to what people are exposed to, especially with what we see. So, if you don't want to look at things through rose-tinted glasses where everything seems like a series of unfortunate events, we have to listen to what the Batman says, wherein he says, it's not who you are underneath, but what you do that defines you. And these very things are characterized by what you see and what you hear. And for all of these reasons, the ballot should go to side proposition. Thanks.